FL Studio 2026 just dropped with a huge flex update, chord detection, and a ton of other new features. But I want to see just how good they are and what you'd actually use day to day. So we'll cook up a whole beat from scratch with the new stuff, and I'll give you my honest feedback along the way. This isn't a sponsor video, but I am affiliated with FL Studio, so if you decide to get it at any point, I always leave a link in the description, and it does support the channel. But let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first big update is with the most popular stop plugin Flex. They changed the whole interface, which I think looks amazing, and you have loads of new sounds, specifically in these core packs. So I definitely want to test some of those, but I actually really like the other packs that they do. Some of them are only available with FL Cloud Pro, but you can check by clicking on the pack and it will tell you down there. For example, I like the ones that they've done with UVI because UVI makes some really high quality sounds. I'll get into FL Cloud Pro soon because now you get more with that too, but for now, let's just go to some of the library sounds. Let's test the pianos because everyone loves a good piano. So this is sounding nice. Kind of sounds like an old drill piano. I like these grand pianos. Let's make a melody with this. They've also introduced some new tools for helping you with chord progressions. For example, you could choose automatic chord top down, and now you just choose the top notes and it will build a chord down from that. So you might have an idea for a top line, but you don't know what chords work with it. For example, you'll notice the notes are grouped together. So if you want to ungroup them, just hit Alt and G. And now you can move them independently. If you press Alt, Option, and P, you can generate chord progressions with this, but now you can select one note preview, and if you have a MIDI keyboard or if you're using your typing keyboard, you can quickly preview the chords. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really use chord generators much, but it could be good for some people, especially if they're new to producing, or if they're going through some beat block and want to experiment with some new chord ideas. Let's just come up with something. Come up with a simple idea, pick a more interesting piano. Maybe this one. Let's pitch that up, just randomize the velocity. Let's pull up halftime. Yeah, maybe just that for the top line. There's some bass notes. Alright, let's layer that with something. I'm thinking a pad, or we'll see what other new presets they've got. Definitely want to check out the strings. What about core synths though? Some of these could be good. Try this first one. Halftime that too. Let's get rid of the bass notes. Well, I'm going to get rid of the top line. I can just hit some background texture. Let's pitch it up an octave. I'm hearing some strings in this too, so let's check out some of the new ones. We'll go to core strings. I love using violins in my beat, so we'll see what they sound like. That one's not the best. Staccato ones are kind of nice. These are a bit better. Especially if you're playing chords like this. Speaking of chords, if you want to see the new chord detection tool, if you right click up here in an empty space and select edit, you should be able to see it here. If it's not already up there, then just drag it. This can be good for learning because sometimes you're playing things and you don't really know the theory behind it, so now you can actually understand the chords. Let's see what other violins they've got. So let's see what these strings sound like compared to a paid one. So yeah, for the type of beats that I make, I feel like it's still missing a really nice solo violin. We could try this one. And I like that they have some effects down here. Of course, you have this edit tab where you can change the filter envelope and some basic effects. But I am missing that natural violin sound, so I'm going to pull up Contact. To me, it just sounds a lot better. We need some processing on that piano as well, so let's just add some delay. And then some reverb. Take some low end out of that piano too. Actually gonna get rid of these notes, make it sound a bit darker. Okay, this is missing a bit of high end, so I'm going to pull up Layerizer, which is my plugin. And I built this to create nice textured layers from any instrument. For example, I could use the Cactus texture, which is my favorite one. And this is just on the piano. We'll see what else there is. I really like this Lost in Space one too. So I'm going to hit Shift and E to bring up Edison and then just record that in. Because then I can bring that back into the playlist and treat it as a separate layer. Let's grab it from the second part. Let's make some cuts halfway and then we'll just slowly bring this up. Might do something similar with that pad, so we could render that too and then just have this coming off. So then it's like the pad fades out, but then that texture fades in. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Personally, I love simple updates that speed up your workflow. For example, now you can middle click on an audio channel or a sampler channel and then quickly rename it. I think that piano might get repetitive, so we'll group them together with Control and G and just make a simple change. Okay, let's go to FL Cloud because I want to find some string phrases or one-shots. Of course, some of them are free. We could try some parts of this. And this icon is new too. It's just showing you if it's in stretch mode or not. But the shortcut to turn that off is Shift and M. Or you can just hold A while you're moving it. Just gonna add one more layer of strings. And this is from the orchestra. Just want to keep those violin trills. This is also a new feature that would genuinely be a part of my workflow. So once you're making MIDI, sometimes you want to see what it sounds like twice as fast, especially if you're making things like ARPs. When you drag this now, it's automatically snapping to the grid, so you don't have to zoom right in and match it. On another texture layer, so let's go to Cloud. Well, what if we take the beginning of that? And that might just play in the hook, just to separate it. Alright, I'm liking the sound of this melody, so let's render the whole thing. We'll try and pitch it up, maybe 2. That's kind of hard. Let a bit of kickstart. Now, as I'm saving this, one feature that I genuinely like is being able to save a backup to FL Cloud. You can either back up the project once or every time you save. Then if you go to FL Cloud and project backups, you can see it there. And I like this because I usually film on my desktop PC, but when I'm traveling, I have a MacBook, so I don't always have my projects with me. And I guess you could use Google Drive or Dropbox, but it's nice that it's already built in. But just know that you only get 500 megabytes free, so you're going to run through that fast. But if you upgrade to FL Cloud Plus or Pro, you can get up to a terabyte storage. And to be honest, I think that's well worth it because then you get access to all of the sounds in FL Cloud, plus 90 plugins, more flex packs, and even DistroKid releases, so you can upload your project straight to streaming platforms. So yeah, that's one that I really like. Only thing is, I've got a habit of pressing Control and S all the time, and if you're doing that and it's backing up to FL Cloud, it's going to take a little longer. All right, let's get some drums on this. Grab a snap too. Gonna change that snare. And then this clap. Then we'll go back to this one. Let's get a zap perk in. And then something else for the second half. For the 808, I'm thinking let's use the J spins. One of my signature sounds now. I want to try and swap some of these out like this. Yeah, just something different sounding. And then we could take some fills and just take some little parts of them. I think we've got to get a stomp in there too. I think just a few. Let's grab a reverse open hat and then maybe a smaller one. Okay, I definitely want a second 808 in there, so I'm gonna group the drums together so we've got a longer pattern, and now just introduce something new. I'm wondering if Flex has something creative we could use. They'd come with this core 808s. Let's try core synths again. Yeah, maybe something in here. Maybe a different sound there. Yeah, one of these could sound crazy. Now, I haven't even spoke about the updates to Gopher, which is their AI assistant. I've got mixed opinions on this because some things are helpful, but then some things I just can't see myself using. Now, instead of just questions, you can ask it to do things like turn up the main melody by 2 dB. It's going to take a second, then you have to approve it. And now it's brought this up by 2 dB. But realistically, if I was going to do that, I'd just reach for the fader. But this is one way I genuinely use it. So usually when I've got loads of sounds in the channel rack, it can get a bit messy and I might forget to link things to mixers and rename them. But I'd manually start renaming each one and then sending them to empty inserts. But now you could write something like this. Rename every audio file, channel insert in its simplest form. For example, clap, snare, snare 2, etc. Then link them all to empty mixer inserts with the corresponding name. Now this should work because I tested it earlier. You just have to be really specific about what you're calling things. So if you want it to rename these and you're calling it audio files, it's only going to rename the audio that's actually in the playlist. These would be channel inserts. You could do instruments too, but let's see if it works. Let's approve it, and then it's just giving me a follow-up question. So I'm just going to put yes. Now, it looks like it's doing it. It's taking a minute to do it, but it could save me some time so I don't have to rename everything. And I guess if you save that prompt somewhere, you could just paste it in real quick. And I think I spoke too soon because it definitely hasn't done what I asked it to. So first we could type rename every audio file and channel insert to its simplest form. For example, clap, snare, 808, etc. Yeah, so within seconds, that's done it for me. And then it's even asking if it wants me to rename the flex instruments. So let's put yes. I'm not gonna lie, it's messed some of them up because it's called the clap bass and this one bass. And then maybe at the end of that, we could have said link all unlinked audio files and channel inserts to empty mixer tracks, just to make sure we're not missing anything. All right, so it's saying it can't do that. It worked when I tested it earlier with like 3 sounds, so I don't think Gopher's quite there yet to do these tasks, but it has potential. But now I just click sort by track number, and then you can see all the ones that aren't linked. Highlight them and then hit Control and L. I'm gonna split the drums. I just wanna add a scratch. I forgot to show you this earlier, but this is a cool new update. So if you right click here, if you wanna see the waveform for each of the sounds in the browser, even in your own kits, go to View Layout and then Samples. Now you can see everything this way. Even when you're searching for sounds, you can quickly find them. Just want a few parts where I mute everything. Some parts I'm just going to swap that snare for a snap, and maybe even that main snare. Okay, so I wanted to cook up with my normal process to see what new features naturally fit into my workflow. But let's cover some more that we've missed. They've now made scanning for plugins a lot faster, which is amazing. And they have this new option to always rescan for Waves plugins. So that might save you some time if you've got a bundle, for example, and you don't want to rescan everything. Let's see how fast it does it, because I want to try their new plugin Transmitter. All right, that was probably less than 30 seconds, so that's pretty good. So Transmitter is an all new plugin. This automatically detects the transients and the sustain of an input signal. Let me show you an example. The transient is going to be the attack or the hit of the sound. So think that peak in the waveform as soon as the sound hits. And the sustain is going to be the body. So think of the tail of the sound. So if we wanted to, we could bring up the transient to get more punch in the drums. The default has this diffusion, which I don't really need for that. We could try saturation though. So if we wanted it more punchy, we could bring down the sustain. Maybe bring up the level of the transient. Could even throw some delay on the sustain. Come up with some interesting bounce with that. What you could also do is create a side chain on 2 empty inserts, route the transients to one and the sustain to another. And then you can process these individually. So you've got the transients here and the sustain there. This could be good for drum loops if you want to shape them or process them a bit differently. But I'm not going to lie, I only really use transient designers when I'm designing drum sounds. And it's usually to a specific sound. But Transmit is a free plugin in the update, so you can't argue with that. I'm sure a lot of people would use it. Another update is being able to normalize audio clips in the playlist. You can right click here and normalize them individually or as a group. A group would be good if you were tracking vocals and you had a lot of different takes. You could highlight them all and then normalize as a group. Then it will just find the loudest peak between them all instead of just one. Another cool new update is that FL Studio is now secretly recording audio in the background. For example, if you were recording vocals or a live instrument, sometimes you're just practicing when you're not actually recording and you might get a take that you wish you would have recorded. If that happens, go to Tools and dump to Audio Editor. Now you can see it's here, even when I've been previewing the track. Only thing is, I think it only records the master, so obviously if you were recording something over a beat, it's going to save the whole thing rather than just that one instrument. You can even change the settings so it will record the past minute, 2 minute, 5 or 10. And you can set pre-effects or post-effects. Another update was to Luxverb. There's over 100 new presets now, and you can also change the pitch feedback to feed forward. So normally the pitch shifted audio gets fed into the reverb again and again. And then after a few cycles, loads of artifacts build up and it can sound kind of weird. But if it's on feed forward, you can sometimes just get a cleaner reverb tail. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been sleeping on Luxverb, but I know it's a good reverb plugin if you want to emulate certain spaces. Plus the other new updates are loop starters, so you could get a quick idea down. There's way more sounds built in now, so you might get some cool ideas. Again, this one's probably more for beginners. I don't find myself using it, but some people might love it. And as for the updates, I think I've covered all the main ones, so let me know in the comments which one you like the most. And let's hear the beat.
Cactus.
Feeling the bounce on this one. New flex bass. Sounds kind of crazy, you know. This second section that has the new sounds. So I hope you guys are feeling this one once again. Hope these new updates are helping you. If you want to check out FL Studio, the link's always in the description. Or for more videos, just click up here.